Hello, everybody. This is Tony Cran. This is the Red Car Podcast, and this is episode 2162. And before we get into today's main topic, we have to give a brief overview of our sponsors. We got Uncle Joe's Chocolate Milk, fresh from the Himalayas, and State Farm, believe it or not. And,
Really?
Cam, if you'd like to, or Johnson, if you'd like to let me know about that.
Right. Okay. So for my conducted research, I heard by State Farm, this is what they told me. Hey, you gotta hit them up, great car insurance. And I heard that State Farm is the number one auto small business owner and insurer in the United States. The top one. State Farm has more than 19,400 agents and 67,000 employees working overtime just to provide the best insurance for you. One thing though, it serves over 91 million policies in customers' accounts. And I got to open an account for that one guy we're going to talk about later in the podcast,
Yeah,
James Earl.
for sure.
You really need to figure out.
Now, Willie, what do they do? Willie, what do they do?
About that, James Earl was actually someone I had to encounter. That's who we're going to talk about later. He made me go into State Farm. What they do basically is they give you the best insurance policies. They make sure you get the best, you do the best choices. This is not, and they make sure it's affordable, easy, and all that business. Yeah, about James Earl. He crashed into me. He didn't stop at a stoplight, and he had a cheeseburger in his hand. So I'm vegan.
Exactly. It's horrible. Robert Dixfield was sadly also was there. I heard he stopped at a red light, and James Earl nicked his front headlight, and he freaked out and died from a heart attack.
Really?
Ooh,
Yeah. Now to our case.
Right there.
Yeah. Now talking. I don't think it was the cheeseburger that got him.
At least the diabetes from a cheeseburger didn't kill him first.
Pretty bad.
Now, before the 3-minute mark, we have the challenge. State Farm came to us since we have a fan base around 16 to 20 who are, fresh into driving. They asked, how can we help your fan base, the teens, be more focused driving and to prevent crashes? I'll pass it over to Johnson.
Right. So, since we're talking about teenagers right here, how they like to watch their Twitch streamers and YouTubers. For example, let's name a big one like ISO Speed, Joe Bart, Kaisonet, with over Queso with over billions of views. People watching them 24/7, clipping their strats. Right. So our idea right here is where it comes. Is that we can have State Farm to sponsor the streamers that they all been watching, right? And that can teach them, early driving safety and tips on the road, not to get distracted by watching spray ride videos. Come on, man. Got to put your phone down, right?
Exactly.
That case in there, teaching them that kind of basics. And then the audience is range from 14 and older, maybe even younger. Teaching all them skills. Yeah. Looks like the old people are going to be the only ones in the graphics for damages. Am I right?
Exactly,
Come on.
Yeah. Now Bentley, came to us with the actually not quite yet. We talked to another guy at State Farm. His name was Bob. I think I pronounced
Bob Gager.
Gager.
I got it, Bob Gager. Yeah.
He came to us and he told us that what they're already doing. You get a discount on your insurance already if you were to put the device they have into your car. You get a slight discount already, and with that device they have, it tracks how much time you get on your phone via Bluetooth connection to your phone. See how many times you're on your phone and checking your messages, which can also nick and make you to spend more on your insurance. Now, who wants to do that? It's horrible. But speaking of which, SWAT, tell me about it, Bentley.
So, SWAT, it's something you can do and use in your everyday life. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We looked, before we came up with our idea, we looked at the strengths of teen drivers, aka like understanding the technology better. We looked at the weaknesses, not knowing how the car works. The opportunities, like what would make them better at driving and pay more attention to the road, and the threats. The teens in general, they should get off the road, in my opinion.
Yeah, can you give us some examples from each of those 4 sections?
Yeah. Like I was saying, with strengths, we got. Let me look at my notes here. We got, um, understanding the technology of the cars better, like with AI cars and all that.
Spend all that
Right,
time
like
on their phone,
Tesla.
they should know, yeah.
Yeah. And then with weaknesses, we got not paying attention, and obviously the phones in general. Like teens are always on their phones. With opportunities, we got, you know, let me check my notes here again.
These are like habits that could support and help teens, to be more
Yeah.
attentive. So like, being on their phone less and an app
Yeah. Being on
that
the phone
lowers
less.
prices. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And it also lowers your
And then,
attention span, am I right? Like, come on.
and
Exactly,
then,
exactly. Well,
And locked in
and
on
then, yeah. And for threats, exactly like how teens are always getting mad, hormones and all that. Oh, disgusting.
and like
So we got road
outside of
rages.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
James
road
Earl.
rager. Yeah, exactly. That darn burger.
Yeah. Come on, all that over a cheeseburger, man.
Maybe you
Exactly.
Now,
need to become vegan.
now I have heard from
Like,
the
come
guys
on.
next door. We have reached our 7-minute mark, and we should get into our main topic about what car is the best car. Now, for this segment, we
Yeah,
will be ending our sponsored segment. Thank you guys for
yeah,
watching
that was
this
it.
segment.
Yeah, clap it up, everyone.
Wrap it up, everybody.
Farewell.
Thank you guys for watching Car Podcast, and I'll see you guys next time.